The minimum wage increase playing out in California, it's happening on a number of different levels in a number of different places in the state. So in addition to legislation coming out of Sacramento that at this point has successfully raised the wage, it just bumped up a little bit this month, started July. It's going to bump up some more. They've got this sort of staggered minimum wage increase plan, and this is a pattern that you see across the country in other states, where it's a relatively harder sell to say we're going to raise the minimum wage all at once in a big chunk. It's going to happen as soon as we pass the legislation. It's friendlier to businesses, and it's sort of easier for voters to swallow if you say, well, we're gonna increase it a little bit this year, and then a little bit more the year after that. Then 3 or 4 or 5 years down the road, we're going to index it to inflation. And P.S., small businesses can maybe get like a 2-year grace period. In the San Francisco Bay Area, you've got a plan among East Bay mayors to basically make a minimum wage cartel. They're going to work together to create their own little economic zone where minimum wages all rise at the same time. City of Richmond was bumping up their minimum wage. The mayor of Berkeley looked around and said, hey, there's no reason why Berkeley and Emeryville and some other cities can't all coordinate their minimum wage increases. In Los Angeles, there's been other activity. Activists who had some success in the city of Seattle, dramatically hiking the minimum wage there up to 15 an hour, $15 an hour. Set their sights on Los Angeles is a good next step. Already in LA, there was a separate campaign to hike the minimum wage of hotel workers, specifically large hotel workers, up to 15 and change, which would be almost a twofold increase in some instances relative to where the minimum wage used to be before current law coming out of Sacramento took effect. The bigger picture now is the activists who had luck in Seattle came down to LA, and what they're working on now is a $15 minimum wage, just a blanket minimum wage that would go into effect immediately. It would start to go into effect, I should say, immediately, basically in November, if it was voted into law.